Hey, I got a homestead hack to share with you. Now, I shared this with you guys before, but this is a follow-up on preserving citrus fruits. Stay tuned. Hello, welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. I brought you in the greenhouse because this was where this project started. In a previous episode, some months back, I showed you how to preserve citrus fruits the way the Pioneer did it, except they did it in a box. Hey folks, welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. I brought you to the greenhouse because this is where I'm going to do the demonstration of preserving citrus fruits, namely an orange. I purchased a big bag of oranges, and my wife and I just don't eat that many oranges at one time, but we will eat them over a period of time. But we do want to save and preserve the oranges. So let me share with you guys what method I learned from reading my grandfather's memoirs. So I showed this in a couple episodes before, and we did lemons and oranges. I've done tangerines in this method also. So what I do is I take an orange and I put it in a bucket of sand. We now have those oranges buried, so we're going to go ahead and place the other three in the bucket. Remember, do not let them touch and just cover them enough with sand. What the sand is going to do is prevent the microbes and pests from going in and causing decay, and it keeps the fruit from evaporating. So keep them fresh. Don't store them any longer than 6 months maximum. And they took river sand and they put the river sand in the box, and they took their citrus fruits and packed them in the box in the sand, carefully not letting each fruit touch each other. So I mean, I did a review on this a month after I preserved them. So I'm checking out this orange. I mean, look at that. Totally intact, 2 months sitting in the sand, and it's completely looks like the day I bought it. Now this is several months later. Well, let's check to see how the quality is on the oranges I put in here. Here's the orange. You can see how it looks on the outside. Let's see how it looks on the inside. Yeah, the product is diminished. Lemons, tangerines, and oranges. I've done it with all these crops. Just to be brave, let's see how this is. You can still get the juice out of here. Yep, it's still flavorful, but the quality is diminished. But it still has a flavor, so you can get orange juice at least, and maybe make some orange desserts. Hint, hint, hint. Stay tuned for a Dude in the Kitchen series, because I'm going to make a dessert with citrus fruit. Yep. Oh, delicious. Melt in your mouth. But I wanted to show you guys this. By the way, do not feed this to your worms. Like, this is my worm bin right here. Don't feed citrus fruit to your worms. I'm going to go ahead and feed this to the chickens. We'll see how the rest of them are doing. That's just sand. Did I have any more in here? I think I got them all. Oh, I feel one down here. I got one deeper. Let's see how it goes. Oh! The deeper I go, the better it looks. Let's see what I got down here. Nope, don't feel any more. Now this one looks really good. Let's see how this one looks. Oh, the integrity of it looks really good. My hands are dirty. But for the sake of this video, I want to show you. Yeah. Okay, so this is this many months later. And the deeper in the sand, the more sand over the top of it, the better preserved it is. That's a wonderful experiment. Okay, let's see. Look at that. The texture is still the same. Still preserved this many months later. Now I understand why the pioneers preserved and figured out a way to preserve citrus fruit for a long time. Because citrus fruits, obviously in season. And as a treat, they would put oranges in the Christmas stocking. And how would they get oranges in the Christmas stocking if the pioneers, who resourced oranges locally, could preserve an orange for that long? Well, I just showed you. Guess where I got this information from? My grandpa's memoirs. Yeah, listen to your elders. Full of wisdom and good information. I got a hold of my grandfather's memoirs because I inherited them. I published them and I got them into the hands of all my family, all my relatives, so they can glean the same information that Grandpa left behind, because it was a lot of valuable information we could glean from his memoirs. You can actually listen to me reading his whole memoirs chapter by chapter. I divided them up in chapters in a series where I would paint a picture, and while I'm painting the picture, I'm actually talking the story of what he left behind. I was 13 years old and could drive by myself then, and could take my stepmother and the kids any place they wanted to go when Dad was too busy to take them. I drove that car until early fall. Then there was a family that lived about 8 miles northeast of Anoka and about 4.5 miles north of Spencer, Nebraska. They had 4 small children. They came to Anoka in a wagon and came into the garage to look at cars. My car was there and it was just what they wanted, so they took me out for a drive and asked me what I wanted for it. I told the man I would take $450 for it. Now remember, my grandfather only paid $300 for this car. So I'll leave a link here and also leave a link at the end of the video and in the description below, so you guys can watch those videos and listen to the same information I got my information from. That's where I got this from, how he came up with it, and even more importantly, folks, today, how his whole community survived the original swine flu pandemic in 1919. Rudimentary. The whole town survived. While millions of people were dying all over the world, not one person in his community died because of the wisdom of their local doctor. So listen to that series, glean so much information, and don't ignore your ancestors. Some of them are a heck of a lot smarter than we are. I think we're becoming dumber. That's just a personal observation and a personal experience. So the takeaway from this episode is pay attention to your elders. Also, this method not only works for oranges, it also works for lemons. Yes, I preserve lemons this way. Come back, stay tuned to this channel, and I will show you more ways of preserving crops that I harvest from my garden. Something that might be a little bit important, especially in the coming days, to have an understanding of how the pioneer method of preserving before refrigeration. Yeah, because, we're subjected to power outages out here in the wilderness because of wildfires, and we know that high winds will cause power lines to spark and cause fires. So our power company has hired some meteorologists, climatologists, weather people, to watch the weather and dictate when to shut off power to areas if the weather becomes too severe that could risk starting fires. Several of our fires that we had, devastating wildfires we had around us, were caused by power lines. So with the power outages, your food in your refrigerators and freezers, you have to eat that first. So alternative ways of preserving, yeah. One way is canning, another way is burying in sand, and I found burying deeper in sand is better. The orange on the top of the sand didn't fare too well. Deeper in the sand fared very well, and those oranges were put in there at the same day. So that's good advice. So I'm Jerry Hansen, your host here on Pine Meadows Hobby Farm, with this valuable homestead hack coming from the past. The year would be 1919 area, and where I gleaned this information from my grandfather's memoirs. Thank you, Grandpa and Great-Grandpa. Please stay tuned for those more videos. You could do that by subscribing, then clicking that bell icon, which alerts you to those new videos as I process them and upload them. Give us a thumbs up, like the show if you will, and leave a comment or a compliment. I enjoy compliments, who doesn't? Hey, give us a thumbs up, like the show, be safe, always be kind. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye now.